Because you suck. Hashtag you suck. That's incredibly disrespectful.
Incredibly disrespectful. All right. Do you know what any of these cards do, David?
I do, but why don't we go over them for our viewers?
Oh, that's great. I'm glad you do. That's awesome, Dave, that you had the forethought to know what these cards do.
Allow me.
Okay, for
allow
the
me to go
record,
over them for you.
for the record, 1, 2,
record.
3, 4, 5. I know 5. I could summarize with like some accuracy to the point where it's what I would need to know. The last one, I probably could. I think I remember what it does, and then this one, absolutely not, because it's a despot, and Kieran threw this one down here as a curveball. There's no reason why.
Used it. You've used it in your wombo combo.
Let me explain real quick. Anything in the main deck, I think, is going to get banned. Anything in the side deck, I think, is going to get limited.
Okay.
Okay, so start with Dragon Buster. When that is equipped to a monster with Union Courier, your opponent cannot summon from the extra deck.
Yes,
That is
it's totally
literally
it's totally misusing Dragon Buster's ability. It was never intended to be used that way.
Could I see it banned? It is far too easy being a dragon and a dark to get out and attach to literally anything with Union Carrier.
Union Courier is a dumb card.
Would you hit Union Courier? I don't think they would. I think it's a little too new, and I think it supports a terrible mechanic of unions.
Yeah,
And they kind of need that.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't just say equips union monsters from the deck. I don't know why.
Right. I mean, that probably should be what it says.
There's a reason. So it's because of the vanillas and other monsters that union monsters require.
So bad and dumb.
So Union Carrier is meant to bridge the gap for all of the awkward combo pieces unions have.
And no one would play more than one of it anyway, so you have to ban it. You can't limit this.
Yes, you'd only need
I think
one.
they probably should ban that. I think it's the oldest card in that setup.
And if you're a Buster Blader player, like you can really deal because no one cares about you.
There was one more card that should
like
be
no one gives a
the
shit.
There's one more card that should be in the ban column, but we started talking before I finished. It's Block Dragon.
Block
Dragon.
That's actually
Block Dragon.
The Lego thing.
Yes.
Yeah, considering that Rocks won in the top 4, they had half of the top 4 of that remote duel. I feel like
this card's pretty good. It lets you get your rocks off.
So, the reason that I said Dragon Buster is there's no way that they're gonna hit Union Carrier. It's too new.
Sure.
Dragon Buster's old and it's part of a dead archetype.
Yes, no one cares.
I think it's definitely fair game to be hit. The thing is, I just don't know if they feel comfortable enough with results of the meta that. Oh, Dave, you're adding the wrong one. I'm pretty sure Dark Magician's the one that needs to be on the ban list.
Oh, that's right. We need to ban Dark Magician because it makes making Dragoon harder. So.
Yeah, no, I think that's the real enabler of Dragoon, and Dark Magician really does need to be banned. It's for the health of the game, honestly. I think. Yeah,
because like if you're playing Dark Magicians pure, you're a scrub. So like, I mean, who cares?
Yeah, of course, no one plays Dark Magician, so I mean, no one's gonna really notice unless you're playing Dragoon. So
yeah, like I mean, if you're Jason, then I guess you'll just have to deal.
Jason plays bad deck, so his thoughts really don't matter at all.
Doesn't affect my Dark
Magician deck. Speaking of Dragoons, the next card on the list, I think we've decided that Buster would probably be fine being banned. I could see that.
Yeah, I couldn't care less if this was banned. It probably should be. As
far as Red Eyes Fusion, though, I feel like that's going to be selling the tins.
Yeah, that's not getting hit at all.
I don't think they're going to hit it.
So the reason that I think they're going to hit Red Eyes Fusion is specifically because they just sold a fuckload of product with the tins. It's a Necros situation.
Maybe.
No,
or Zodiac. Could be a Zodiac.
That was it.
Because they banned Broad Bull and Dryden like immediately after the tins came out.
They just sold so much fucking product.
Is Red Eyes Fusion in the tin though?
No, it's not.
But it's why people are caring about buying the tin.
I would be. So I know everyone's only running one. Like anybody who's, quote unquote, splashing Dragoon into their deck, which isn't the best idea because running Red Eyes and Dark Magician in your deck, as well as the Red Eyes Fusion, is kind of weird. Especially if you draw one of those, and Red Eyes Fusion is dead, and you really don't have any other way of making Dragoons. So that's a big whoopsie if you draw into any of them. See them putting it to 1. So that you can't make another one. It doesn't really stop the splash, but it does stop like dedicated decks just running 3 Dragoons and always having a bunch out. I don't know.
This is where I will bring up the OCG. Although I say that with the caveat, you should
so Red Eyes Fusion does get from the hand too, so it's not really a dead draw.
What I say is you should never compare the OCG to the TCG, because it's a totally different game. However, when the OCG hit Dragoon, they put Anaconda, Red Eyes Fusion, and Dragoon to 1, and everything calmed down a little bit.
Really?
I
why do you
honestly see it prevents the dedicated decks, so everyone can have one, so you can summon it. But in my testing against, I was just playing against that Red Eyes Dragoon AI on Edo Pro. Just to kind of get a feel for how to beat the deck. And getting over 1 Dragoons wasn't that hard. If I opened poorly, it definitely won the game, but I could get over 1. That wasn't the worst. But
it's not that bad.
They dropped 2 more on me, and then I had no way of getting over that. So it really is I can get over 1 Dragoon. That's fine. I mean, it's another negate. It's hard to, you can't just pop it. You have to hit it with by battle. But 1's not the worst. It's the 2nd and the 3rd that really hurt.
Yeah, I would agree. It's 1 kaiju away from getting problem solved.
Right.
It's got a big target on it. So
sure. And you can bring it back with the Red Eyes cards, so you could potentially it boosts the Red Eyes deck a little bit too, which is nice.
Okay, so I would agree. Do you think putting Predaplant Verte Anaconda to 1 does anything?
I think it puts a target on its head.
I guess. I've always been of the camp that extra deck monsters are banned or 3 because hitting 1 is literally not changing anyone's deck list.
Yeah. I think it puts a target on its head, and it lets everyone know that Konami is watching.
Yeah, I'm not sure anything related to Dragoon is going to get hit at the moment, especially without any actual event happening. I feel like they're gonna wait on that just a little bit.
Yeah, that was my theory with the last lit.
Yeah, and I think we have a bigger target on the next card on the list, Jet Synchron. That being a 1 card
everything.
Plus, yeah, you go with Needle Fiber and Link Cross and Auroradon, and then the Despot also down there. That's a lot of advantage.
It's annoying that, we're all so confident that Konami would rather hit an old card than the new hotness, despite the fact that it's clearly the new hotness that's the problem.
Right.
I will say this, though. Jet Synchron might be a little too recursive.
Mm-hmm. Even the Banish is still... I mean, I could see that if they're not trying to rock the boat too much, I could see them putting that to 1.
Okay.
Because if you have that at 3 and you have tuning at 3, you have 6 cards that jumpstart your deck.
Sure.
With this, you have to tuning becomes dead real quick.
Yeah, tuning is probably the reason why Jet Synchron is the superior option over something like Frozen saying that Plague Spreader is also a problem. Plague Spreader technically works in this, but Jet Synchron's better because of tuning.
Make it a little
not only that, look at all of this. Jet Synchron is a level 1 fire machine tuner synchron.
Yeah, the machine and the level
with 0
1
defense. You know, like it's got a lot of weird.
Yeah,
it's pretty got a lot going for it.
It depends on how much they want to protect needle fiber. If they want to like really kill the combo, they could ban it. If they want to make it so that you have to get lucky, I would keep. They might keep it at 1. Again, needle fiber may not. I mean, that set might not be selling as much. I don't know what their
I would think that the amount of product they're selling that has any one card in it drops off really, really quick.
Yeah, and Buster Whelp kind of is that card that just says you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I feel like they're going to be a little bit more aggressive with those types of cards than the combo enablers.
Yeah, there's no reason to keep Buster Whelp.
I think they want to give it the combo a little bit of a tap. I would say limit Jet Synchron just so that it's awkward to play. You can't just splash 3 of that and 3 tuning and go into your crazy combo because that's what Eldritch is doing.
Sure.
So similar combo, but O-Line, usually summoned off of Auroradon by popping itself in a token.
Yes. It's Needle Fiber's best friend, right?
Again, they have been getting rid of a lot of the token generators. So like the Gofu and I feel like there's some other Steam.
Declare your face before you go for
Blackwing and token in the card, they're gonna ban it.
Imagine being a deck like Blackwings and having tons of your cards getting hit all the time, and it's not because of your own deck. Feels bad.
I don't know what I think about O-Line, honestly.
It's so dumb that we're even talking about this card because I think in a bubble it's just not good. It's very clearly a wonky Mecha Phantom based support card. So it's like
but it supports links so well because it's a needle fiber card and it then replaces itself.
It's just so stupidly free.
Yeah.
That's a low level machine.
I don't know. I really don't know. I think they might even do a one or the other Jet Synchron O-Line. Like if you're gonna ban one of those two, I'd say you have to ban one, but you could keep the other.
I would personally get rid of O-Line only because that's your to go even further beyond play. Like it's
right.
It's what makes the needle fiber combo so nice is because the thing you're pulling out of the deck replaces itself, which lets you even go one step more, plus ultra thing. So it's like,
right.
If you don't have this, then what are you doing?
That is the card that usually used to go into Savage Dragon. So you're usually, I think, in the combos, if I remember correctly. That's either the tuner that you go into it or so like that's the end board. It's not the combo starter. I don't know. Those are some weird ones, especially because needle fiber is so new and it took so long to come into the TCG, and then we really haven't had a chance to play it.
Yeah, it hasn't. It has no real format.
If we've had if we've had proper events from the time needle fiber came out to now without the COVID pandemic,
should be banned.
I would say now we would probably have actual conversations about banning needle fiber, but no one's played it. Even with the remote duels, that was a very small tournament, and we have not seen a large scale tournament that would probably drive sales. So I don't think they're going to be hitting anything crazy.
No,
especially I would honestly be surprised if they ban anything.
Yeah, that's what I said when we started. I honestly don't think they're banning anything, to be completely honest with you. They might unban a few stupid things like they did last time, but I don't think they're banning anything. If they did, it'd be from this group up here, but And I think it's Buster Dragon, and I think that's it.
Maybe
Just because
Black
fuck this
Dragon?
card, right? Who cares?
Maybe Black Dragon. I don't know. But between Buster Dragon and Black Dragon, I think those are the two that have the biggest target on them as far as seeing any sort of hit.
And honestly, I would almost think we'd keep Black Dragon still, just because Emancipators haven't had their time to actually be a deck. Right. So I think for that same reason, they're staying in this is staying in the game, because all the good decks that are all the decks that are supposed to be tier 1 right now technically aren't, because we don't have a format. So like, I honestly don't think they're going to hit anything except the Dark Magician. They're definitely going to hit the Dark Magician.
Definitely.
He's way
it
too
is the biggest enabler of Dragoon. Honestly, have you seen how he just summons him?
Yeah,
and just attacks per game. That's what he does. He's a match winner. You can't have that in this game.
And he is the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense. That right there is
pushes it right over there. Yep.
It pushes it.
Confirmed.
Could you imagine if they did it as like a gag for like, because we don't. It's like 3 months because it doesn't matter. We can't have tournaments anyways. So they just banned the Dark Magician as a joke in the middle of COVID. That would be very funny. Like That
would be funny. That's not something they would do, but I would laugh a lot.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
I'd give Jerome ultimate props, and I'd take back everything I've ever said about his comb over or his cringy videos. I would confess my undying love to the man for banning Dark Magician.
You already have.
That is very true. All right. So what's the story with this stupid despot that literally who cares?
It's not a once per turn that summons itself when 2 machines are summoned at the same time.
Yes.
Oh, is this that thing I was using with the tokens to summon a bunch of arc lights?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That's dumb. I feel bad for Deskbot 01 because it's not his fault that when he was designed, no one cared because he's bad. And his deck isn't good, so people just didn't have the common decency to actually test him.
So, Popcorn,
hey, Marty.
To approach your thing about cards on the end board being a problem. 1, Boral Savage Dragon is not a problem.
Absolutely not.
Never said out.
Who are we talking about this?
Boral Savage is not a problem. VFD is arguably a problem. The issue with VFD right now is the fact that through the Needle Cross combo chain,
yes,
any deck can make VFD with 1 card.
Right.
That's the issue.
And that's certainly misusing it. Like, you're not supposed. Not every deck is supposed to be able to drop that stupid thing. And
at least have to hold your Razak and build your deck around it, not just splash a card in.
Like, you gotta at least have level 9s in your deck, as opposed to just making them. That's cheesy.
I don't know. Like we said, it's really.
And Konami doesn't tend to hit end board monsters. They tend to hit the jank that makes them.
Yeah, for sure.